Criticism is something that no one, and I mean no one on this earth, can escape. You are going to be critiqued at almost every point of your life, and there's nothing you can do to stop it. Criticism, while it can be harsh, it's necessary. Criticism is necessary for growth and evolution, and that is exactly what Mr. Tyler Perry is allergic to. Criticism is like kryptonite to Tyler Perry. He hates criticism more than Stewie hates Lois from Family Guy. So why am I saying this? Well, recently Tyler Perry released his new movie called Divorce in the Black, starring Meagan Good, Corey Hardick, Debbie Morgan, and a whole list of other actors. And while I haven't personally seen this movie, I have seen a lot of comments and reviews about it, and the results are mixed, to say the least. Now, before I go on about this movie, let me just walk you guys through memory lane here. Tyler Perry has received heavy criticism over the years in regards to the fact that his films and even TV shows have been pretty much on autopilot, telling the same Black woman in distress storyline. And I could go over his entire filmography and give you examples, but just to name a few, Diary of a Mad Black Woman, Meet the Browns, Medea's Family Reunion, and this new movie, Divorce in the Black, are just a few examples of this storyline of good woman suffering at the hands of a good-for-nothing man. And don't even get me started for Colored Girls, because that honestly might be one of the most traumatizing movies on earth, and it didn't need to be. But getting back to this new Divorce in the Black movie, this movie, while it does have a lot of positive reviews, the majority of people who watched, and along with the critics, said that it was one of Tyler Perry's worst films to date. Rotten Tomatoes, which is a pretty well-respected movie reviewing critical site, gave it a 0% score. And for those that don't know, right, getting a 0% score really on anything is bad, but on Rotten Tomatoes, it puts you on the same list of shitty movies like Simon Says, where Dennis Rodman is the lead role, and A Pathetic Excuse for a Movie in John Henry with Terry Crews and Ludacris. This list is not a list that you want to be on if you are a Hollywood entertainer, let alone a prestigious Hollywood job like a Hollywood director. But that's exactly what happened, and it's no one's fault but Tyler's. His lack of creativity and growth in his storytelling on camera is what ultimately got him to where the criticism is louder than the compliments, and I 100% agree. Now, a few days ago, Tyler Perry was on Keke Palmer's podcast where he addressed some of the criticism he's been facing since his latest movie release, and this is what he had to say. I'm going to just let you guys hear the audio because I don't want any copyright issue if I show you the video. I don't know how Keke Palmer get down with that, but just take a listen to what he said.
Criticism to stop you from being able to have your authentic voice as an artist, because it does get really difficult.
Yeah, but what? No. You got to drown all of that out, because if you let somebody talk you out of a place that God has put you in, you are going to find yourself in hell. I know for a fact that what I'm doing is exactly what I'm supposed to be doing, because for everyone who is a critic, I have thousands of used to be emails from people saying, this changed my life. Oh my God, you know me. Oh my God, you saw me. How did you know this about my life, my family? So that is what is important. We're talking a large portion of my fans who are disenfranchised, who cannot get in the Volvo and go to therapy on the weekend. So you've got this highbrow Negro who is all up in the air with his nose up looking at everything. And then you got people like where I come from and me who are grinders, who really know what it's like, whose mothers and were caregivers for white kids and were maids and helpers and all of these beauticians. That don't discount these people and say that their story don't matter. Who are you to be able to say which Black story is important or should be told? Get out of here with that bullshit.
I don't have a pooper scooper big enough to hold the dog shit that came out of this man's mouth just now. So Keke Palmer asked Tyler Perry how he deals with the criticism he's been facing, right? And having his authentic voice. And the first thing he says is that he just drowns it out and doesn't listen to it. That right there is the first mistake. Your fans are the ones who are critiquing your work, and they have every right to do so since they are the ones patronizing your business. Their asses are in the seats for you. It's not always haters who have negative feedback all the time. A good amount of times it's people who actually support you, and nobody should want yes people or fans who just blindly follow and support their work without having a mind of their own and offering up a suggestion. And one of the biggest notions that I, along with many others, have been saying for years is to simply switch it up with the Black trauma storylines. More specifically, that Black woman in pain, beaten and battered and scorned by a Black man storyline that seems to creep its ugly head in damn near all of your Madea movies. And that brings me to my next thing. This Madea character that Tyler Perry has conjured up was a great character for his stage plays, right? When he was coming up doing the stage play thing. But as he started to become more mainstream, Madea, that character started to become more and more annoying. And it wasn't just me saying that, right? Tyler Perry himself said that he was going to stop doing Madea movies and put that behind him. And, listen, y'all don't got to believe me. The man said it himself. Go ahead and listen.
Now, you mentioned Madea being retired.
Yeah.
What does that mean? I'm confused by that whole idea of Madea retiring.
This
Madea doesn't retire, darling. Madea doesn't die. She's like a gremlin. She's always going to be around.
No, it's time for me to kill that old bitch. I'm tired, man. I'm tired. No, she's I'm doing one last tour in the 2019, the farewell tour, and the last movie is Medea's funeral that I shot 2 years ago. So we're gonna say goodbye to her.
It's
Don't
been
tell
in the
her.
can for 2 years?
Yeah, I didn't want to go from Boo to Boo 2 to another Madea,
Right.
so I put Acrimony in front of it, which I love that movie,
Yes.
man. And then I wanted to do this one and then drop that one.
So he said he wasn't going to bring this character back, only for her to rise from the grave and make another movie appearance in 2022. That was 2 years ago, which shows me that he's incapable of change. That Madea costume was calling out to him worse than the Green Goblin mask in Spider-Man. Then he talks about fans who have emailed him talking about his movies, change their lives. And, listen, while that's all well and good, it still doesn't change the fact that your films have been declining in quality and have been getting progressively worse as far as character development, storyline, writing. Like, I can go on and on. Then he alludes to saying that people who are detractors are highbrow Negroes and have their noses up in the air and basically don't understand what's going on, and they don't understand the real stories. And, that is some of the biggest bullshit I've ever heard in my life. His whole explanation just sounded super defensive, and he was definitely deflecting. Giving feedback is not discounting Black stories as if they don't matter. And this is coming from someone who used to be a big fan of Tyler Perry. I used to be, especially when he was coming up doing his stage plays before he became the billionaire that he is today. Back when you could watch his stage plays on DVD bootlegs, right? Those who know. Even when he hit the big screen, I remember going to the theaters to support. But over time, I stopped watching because the storylines are predictable and the same. That's all people are saying. So if it is strategically that way because you want to give voice to Black stories, then I would like to add that there are also other issues in the Black community that we see in terms of the abusive Black man and the disempowered Black woman regaining control of her life and being almighty. And I just find it hilarious that instead of accepting criticism and commentary that could help to improve and, just help him evolve as a director and filmmaker, he decides to deflect and say things like the highbrow uppity Negroes don't get it, which doesn't make any sense because your audience is not and has not been enjoying your recent bodies of work that you've been putting out, let alone this most recent movie, Divorcing the Black. And you're suggesting that your audience is incapable of critical thinking, which is insulting, to say the least. But besides that, a huge piece of being a filmmaker is feedback and collaboration. Two things that Tyler Perry hates more than anything in life, all right? He not only directs everything he puts out, but he writes and produces everything, and he brags about being able to do all of this in an unhealthy and insane amount of time. He always talks about shooting everything in one take, being able to film and write things in a week or less. And, newsflash, Tyler Perry, we can tell, bruh. The lack of research, time, effort, all of that shows in your work. And the people criticizing you are the ones who want to see you grow as an artist and your own right. Because the facts of the matter is this: if those same people stop watching your shit, you will be one of those people driving your Volvo on the way to work because you won't be a billionaire anymore. And I honestly feel like a lot of the bad reviews that Tyler Perry has been getting is warranted because he continues to put out the most laziest bullshit movies, and we could tell. This latest film is yet another story of a woman done dirty by a man with absolutely no redeemable qualities. He's just a mean asshole for absolutely no damn reason. And the woman is this damsel in distress that comes into the arms of another dude that's probably God-fearing and loves Jesus and probably can't wait to take her to church. And I just don't like the fact that you do the bare minimum, and the fact that you're getting, all of this praise and recognition like you're Steven Spielberg or Christopher Nolan or even Ryan Coogler. You have too much talent, and most importantly, all of the resources to make bangers. You built a $30 million studio back in 2015 with 12 sound stages, 200 acres, a backlot, and then another 800 million you put into it to expand it. With all of that, you should be able to make blockbusters and tell amazing stories. But you want to keep pushing this black male toxicity thing down our throat. And the sad part about all of this is that I feel like we've seen everything that he could come out with as a filmmaker, which is sad. I don't want to believe that, but I feel like that's what it is. It's also crazy because Spike Lee called Tyler Perry out years ago, a while ago, for the type of films that he makes, saying that it's quote unquote coonery buffoonery. And as of lately, he's been proving him right. So Tyler Perry can keep making his movies the way he chooses, but he's not going to get any of the respect that the top tier directors in Hollywood get if he doesn't stop making this parody style of film. But storytelling Tyler Perry is getting annoying, and that's why his newest film is being received the way it is. There just seems to be no growth, no evolution, no nothing, right? And it's just getting annoying. But anyway, I'm off that Tyler Perry soapbox. I still think Tyler Perry is a great businessman. He managed to turn himself into a billionaire with his work and be ultra successful. So that in itself is a good thing. But, I had to talk about it since he just recently released that Divorce in the Black movie. And, by the sound of it, I won't be watching it. But anyway, if you made it to this point, don't forget to smack a like on the video. Also, don't forget to subscribe for the one time. Peace.